So I've been tidying up and I actually forgot to put on moisturizer today. I'm going to grab this one from Cover FX. This is new. It's their custom blending moisturizer. I'm just going to do one pump and I'll apply this with my Anissa all over care brush. I'm just going to do upward motions. Give my face a little massage. Get the blood flowing. I'm sure y'all's blood's already flowing with that giveaway getting ready to go live. I'm so excited. It's international too. Yay! Feels really light, but my skin feels extra hydrated. I like it. Now I've already done all of my serums, all of that, but like I said, moisturizer is my last step, and I kind of ran out of the bathroom because Jean Bean needed food. Oh, and by the way, I used this today on my brows, just this, and I love it. This is the Shiseido, it's their brow pencil. Anyways, it's really tiny. It's still a pencil, it's not a marker, and it just looks really, really nice and really natural. I also love the spoolie, so this is why I don't show you guys my brows. I try different things every single day. I'm out of control. So, as you can see, we're looking at our most fantastic. I got a lot of requests for the Color Gremlin, and if you're new here, the Color Gremlin, he was rampant at one time. I'm talking that I couldn't even use a neutral colored shadow, and it was getting out of control, so we had to put the Color Gremlin away. Well, today, the Color Gremlin has escaped. So I'm actually using this spot treatment brush. This is also from Anissa, but it's the little bit smaller one. And I'm just kind of pressing this on here. I'm gonna bring it pretty far over this way. I'm telling you, it's gonna look maniacal. But as always, there's a method to my madness. So we're just kind of tapping that on the lid, and we're going to take this all the way up to our brow bone. This looks fun. How about... So I'm going to be using my Carla Cosmetics shimmers, so we're going to kind of stay away from shimmers, but I want to use all of these mattes. That meant a little bit of this with a little bit of this. Like this. Okay, grab yourself a tiny little brush. The MAC 228S, I'm grabbing it just for reference. That's going to be a little more similar. You just want something tiny. You can see that they're both very tiny. This one's a prototype, but this is very similar. I love the idea of pink and turquoise together, so I'm going to go ahead and pick this shade up. And notice that I'm picking it up on the actual tip of the brush, not the side. That way we're going to be able to press it into our crease in just a second. Where did my brush go? Let's just kind of tap this back in a little bit. That's completely normal. Do not be afraid of that. We haven't set anything, so it's obviously going to move. It's just like your foundation and concealer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start here in the center, and I'm just going to start pressing that color in there. Just take your time, press it. I'm going to pick up a little bit more. I don't want to pick up too much on my brush. I could just start loading it in, but I'm just kind of using this as a guideline. We can always go back in and pack more on. Alright, so I did this one for IGTV. I'm using that same shade. I just kind of wanted to build it up here for you guys. Just keep going back in, pressing it where you want it. And remember, I'm still just applying, when I pick up the eyeshadow, I'm picking it up right on the tip of the brush, not the side, because we just really want to be careful with our placement because we're going to actually transition this with pink. I think I'm going to do a softer version of a cut crease. I know I look crazy, I swear. You know, I couldn't get these looks down until I started doing them like this. Whenever I would try to have my makeup look pretty the entire time, I just couldn't get the look. And now that I know that it just takes steps, makeup is just steps, especially when you're doing very intense looks. If you just take your time and you just wait till the very end, it all comes together. Oh, and I'm getting a lot of questions about my nail color. This is from Lights Lacquer. It's the shade Blue Moon. It's one of Kathleen's newer shades. It's so pretty. It's just so perfect. I love it. Blue nails are my favorite. Looking like a 90s cup. Remember them horrible styrofoam cups? Lord have mercy. So what we're going to do now is I'm actually going to grab this shade. And this one we are going to grab on the side of the brush. And I'm not going to use too many more colors. This is going to transition and be very pretty. It's going to be a lot more blended than that. But what I'm going to do is I'm kind of just going to turn my head to the side. I can see more of the flat area. And I'm just going to start to tap this pink above this. And if you tap, it'll just press into the base and it's going to press into the shadow. Just really take your time. I'm going to start to press it up now. I'm picking up a little bit more of the shadow. Pushing it here now. just kind of tap back and forth until you start to see that transition. This is so cool. So now I'm just going to take whatever's left on my brush here and just tap it over this way. I'm going to wipe any excess here off on Sheila. You guys know and love Sheila. And then I'm just going to continue to tap. When I'm doing this, I'm making sure I'm not grabbing any of that turquoise color. I'm making sure I'm really just focusing this on that pink shade. We don't want to push that turquoise up any higher towards the brow bone. We want it to kind of stay there. So now to get it going like this, I'm going to grab this shade, and I switched to my Scott Barnes 63. This is actually one of my favorite brushes. And from here, we're going to tap this on the brow bone. And since this brush is so large and flat, it's just setting everything. Now everything is nice and set. My ice maker is doing all sorts of bizarre things. And then just a little whisper hair of that color. Tap that right above. I'm talking right above, not into the pink, just right above, just to kind of watercolor that. That's an optional step, but that's just going to give you a really pretty watercolor effect. So now we're going to take whatever's left in our primer brush here. We're going to kind of lightly carve this out. Don't worry if the green gets on there. This brush is so cool. It's literally for skincare, but we can use it for skincare and eye primer. Okay, so now you can see that the base is mixing with the blue, and that's cool. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it turquoise at the top, and I'm just kind of continuing to carve out my lid, and I'm just kind of giving it a watercolor effect. But for the bottom part, we're going to be using pink, and then we're going to top it with one of my favorite Carla Cosmetics pigments. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just super excited. I love when I can just see things, and I think this is so different and fun. Honestly, I just get so excited when I'm creating. It's just like the whole time. I love it. So now let's grab the Scott Barnes brush again, the same one we've been using. Let's hop into that, and then we're just going to set the very top part here. I don't think I've ever seen one where the lid fades to another color, so let's try that out. I'm just going to continue to tap that right through here. This is a party, y'all. So what I did is I grabbed these two shades, and I'm just kind of going to tap this just through the center. Remember, we're not going to bring it all the way up. Just kind of keep tapping it. The more you tap it, the more it's going to watercolor and just blend in. I'm not going to bring it over this way. Remember, we're still going to use our pigment. So let's leave a few spots there. We'll want to highlight here, here. We'll even put some on the center. We'll get to that. But for right now, let's just continue to tap and watercolor this together. So I'm going to do a wing, but I'm actually going to use my brown liner today. This is one of my favorite brown liners, liquid liners, I should say. This one is from KVD. So we'll just bring it all the way over today, because we are going to wear our falsies, and we want to make sure we have a line thick enough to hide that. So now I'm going to take just a touch of brown eyeshadow from my favorite Lorac palette. I'm going to grab this one right here on a MAC 228S, and I'm just going to lightly smoke out just the front part. I'm going to stop about right here because I want the wing part to be more defined, but I'm just going to lightly smoke this out. I thought it might look cool, a little softened. There we go. Look at that spice. So I mixed Pillow Fight and I mixed Dolly together, and I got this funness here. I actually added a drop, just a hair of this mixing medium. This one's from Carla Cosmetics as well. And it just kind of turns it more into a gel, and it's going to make it a lot more pigmented. So I just mixed those two together, and I'm just going to go to town. Here, we'll do it on this eye too. I'm too excited. Don't listen to me. Look at that. And we'll just pop that through the center. We'll come back in a second, and we're going to do our inner corner as well. But for right now, let's just mix these two together. Look at that. I know y'all are excited for the giveaway. I'm excited. All right, let's just pop on some mascara, and I think I'm just gonna wear my favorite lashes. The It's a Look from House of Lashes, but just a reminder, I always apply a little bit of mascara. Whenever I'm wearing falsies, I'm not as worried about the formula. I just grab a mascara, but we do want to coat those lashes. And then as my lashes are drying, again, these are the House of Lashes It's a Look. This is the Patrick Ta collab, but as they're drying, I just kind of hold them up. I'm not combing them, I'm kind of just taking this part here and just holding them up. All right, let's try out the pore minimizing primer here. You guys saw these are new. I just got them today. They just sent them over. This is the Makeup Forever pore minimizing primer, and I wanted to try this out. So I'm just going to apply this one through here. I do have some pores right through here. I'm just adding a little bit more on my brush. This is kind of where I have them. So let's see how that works out. So I will say, you guys are going to be so mad because you're like, Rose, you don't have any pores. So I do have some through here, and I will say that it definitely minimized them. Let me know if you guys have large pores, and if you've used it. I am curious. Let me know. That way I can tell other people. Now this one I'm excited about. This is the Shine Control. So I'm going to apply this one through the center. I'm just going to pop it on right here. And I'm going to grab my eye treatment brush, and we'll just kind of work this in. I am so curious to see this, because even though I'm normal to dry, I don't get oily, but I do like to take down shine. And you can already see it taking it down through there. And I'm going to take it down through here as well. Okay, I already love that one. Add to cart. Add to cart. Oh my goodness, this is everything I've ever wanted. Take that shine down. Ooh, this is good. Now we'll take the tone up. You do not need this many primers. I'm literally trying them. This is the blue one, and I'm going to use a foundation that might be a little bit too warm for me. I'm not going to apply this one through the center, just the outer perimeter. This one's going to tone down any kind of yellow or overly peach tones. This one's going to be a great example. This color matches me, but it's just a little too warm. So just that little bit underneath, this is the Rare Beauty Foundation in 220C. Just that little bit of that blue underneath is going to correct this. It'll just tone it. I love this foundation. See that? Toned it down. I know that color primers can be scary. They're where it's at. Oh, and by the way, a lot of you are DMing me saying that you guys actually use this on your clients, the pore minimizing one, and that it works amazing. See, I could see a difference, but I never want you guys to, I mean, obviously my skin is my skin, and we all know what it looks like, but I want to make sure that things are really going to work for everybody's skin type. I had somebody DM me and ask if I could use medium 2 in the Balm Contour from Danessa Myricks. I don't have that one. I actually sent that one off to Mel, but I do have light 2. So let's see this one. I'm not seeing too much of a difference in the color, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. This one, it actually doesn't seem much different, but I still love it. And I'm going to do this before I do my concealer. That way we can come back in and reshape a little bit more. I actually want to keep the rest of my makeup pretty minimal because my eyes are looking like a unicorn right now. So I'm just going to warm up the skin just a hair. Okay, so I have my Rare Beauty concealer. I'm just going to use the shade 160C. I feel like I have enough warmth in the skin. And then I think I've already done it everywhere else. Oh, I didn't do it there. And I'm going to melt this in with my Anissa Angle Concealer Brush. And then I'll even kind of come under here. We're wild today. Woo. Who is she contouring those cheekbones? And then we'll just kind of tap this in as well. Now I'm going to take this little brush. This is a very dense brush. Just look for a very dense, flat kind of eyeshadow brush. And I feel like this is kind of what brings my looks to another level. I also feel like it's kind of what makes my looks my looks. I take maybe just a little bit of the concealer here, foundation, whatever I have, and I'll bring it in here. I'm kind of mixing that white eyeshadow base into the concealer to make it look more skin tone. I'll take it through here. I'll take it even across here. Now I don't want to get rid of any of the colors, so I'm doing this very lightly through here. But I'm also kind of blending over this way. And I feel like it just kind of takes a really intense, wild look from looking out of control to almost like it's supposed to be there. Okay, I was kind of addicted to this blush yesterday. Armani sent over 2 shades. This is the shade number 51. And let's kind of apply it the same way we did. It's even going to have these same undertones that we're working with here. What do we have? Give me a brush. We'll just grab this Rare Beauty foundation brush and we'll just tap it in. So pretty. Yeah, I love these. I love these a lot. I'm going to grab my Shiseido powder again. I really liked this the other day, and I'm using a puff. This is the same puff I always use. I just have them in black and white. Let's make sure these creases are all tapped in. The puff is just from Amazon. Just search makeup puff on Amazon. That's all I did. I believe the ones I have are sold out, but they're all identical on there. So I'm just going to continue to press this in until I like it. We're getting there. So now I'm just going to take that Carla Cosmetics mixture that we did earlier and just kind of pull it across my lash line here. I thought this looked a little cooler. We're still going to do our inner corner, but we're not there yet. I love this mascara so much for my bottom lashes. I feel like it just makes them look like falsies. This is the Lash It Loud from e.l.f. I mean, the proof is right there. Look at that. Alright, I took my hair down. My little braids here. I was inspired by I Love Sarai. I love Karen. She's always been an angel. Okay, there we go. I want a really cool tone, super see-through nude lip. I'm going to start just by adding a little bit of definition. This is Endless Cacao, Artist Color Pencil from Makeup Forever. So now let's top it off with this Kevyn Aucoin gloss. This is in the shade Pink Crystal. One of my favorites. This is my second one that I bought. It's gonna match our lips and our eyes. One more time with that mixture. We're gonna mix it together. The Carla Cosmetics Loose Pigments, which is what you guys are gonna be winning. I'm so excited for you guys to try these. Y'all are gonna love them as much as I do. Honestly, I have to restrain myself from using them every single day. So this is gonna be our inner corner.